Oh my goodness. Lord Jesus, help us all. Help us all. Help us all. Help us all. I need some tea. Well, hello everybody. Hello everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is Her Path, Her Pace, where growth meets grace. I am your host, Rashay, and once again, thank you for joining me this week on another episode of Her Path, Her Pace. As we continue on this journey this month with our overarching theme being daring to begin, daring to start. So yeah, that's what we got going on. And you coming and making it to this episode means you have committed to continuing on this journey. But if this is your first episode, catching me, seeing me, hey, welcome to the party. Hopefully you walk away with something and you learn something either, about life, about yourself, or gain new insight, perspective, whatever, or, you just want to stick around. I enjoy it all. So I appreciate all. Love you guys, and I'm so happy you're here. So we're gonna start with life lately. Just a little update about what's going on in my world. It's nothing really new is really happening in my world. Uh, One second. We're gonna start with life lately. Life lately. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my energy is kind of down in this episode. I've learned that so I'm studying the phases of my cycle and trying to be more in tune with it. So I know why I'm feeling this way. It's my body. It's actually my body telling me I need to slow down and rest and not do anything right now. Which I am going to slow down and rest. I planned bad. My planning was bad, so I'm having to, fight against my body and go through with this. But that's okay because I am going to rest after this. But yeah, so yeah, that might be why my energy is a little down. If it feels that way, if it sounds that way, if it looks that way, it's because my body's literally trying to tell me you should be laying down and not doing anything. But that's not how life works. That's not how the world works. You got to keep going. Yeah, it's not made for us women. But yes, wanted to remind you guys I will be a panelist on the an artist development panel, and it's hosted by Upward Light Community Cipher, which is a nonprofit music education organization. It bridges the gap between hip hop culture and education and music with, actual education, and, empowers the youth and gives them space to learn more and a safe space and creative space, things like that. But yeah, but it's an artist development panel. I am one of the panelists. If you are interested in, hearing what's going on with artist development, get some advice about artist development, or you have some questions and you just want to just you're curious, you can always come out. It's January 24th. So yes, it has not by the time this episode is released, it has not happened yet. So yes, you still can come and join me January 24th. It's at the Raleigh Public Library, and in Memphis, Tennessee. It is from 12 to 2. So yeah, come out and join. Yeah, we would love your support. Also, January 31st, Upward Light is also hosting a performance to usher in Black History Month in February. I will have more information about that in the description below. Also, there'll be information about the artist development panel below and all that stuff. All that can be found in the description box. So please, please, please read the description box. If there's anything you need or, that I speak about in the show, it'll be down there. So yeah, cool. And hot take. Since life lately, this is just a little catch up blurb. It ain't really, just catching up. Yeah, my unpopular opinion or something, y'all. Is it just me? But is it to me? It could just be me. But to me, business-wise, it doesn't make sense as a show to not air episodes during holiday seasons. Like, I don't understand that, because people will literally coordinate their entire day to sit and watch something together as a family if it's happening over holiday season. Like, even if it's not happening over holiday season, people have watch parties to watch their stuff. Like, audience, people who watch shows and are committed to watching the show and are watching shows that come out, weekly and all that stuff, like old times, whatever. But y'all think just because it's the holiday season, we're not gonna watch? If anything, you may gain new people watching your show, because if I'm with my family and I go sit in the living room and I grab the remote and I turn on the show, and my family has no, like, and yeah, me and my cousins might watch it, but my aunts and uncles might not watch it. But then they sit down in the living room and we all sitting there watching it together, and they're like, "Whoa, what show is this? When does this come out?" You just gained like, oh, you gain maybe 20, yeah, depending on how big your family is, but 10, 15, 20 maybe new audience members. What sense does it make to not air an episode during holiday season? Like, that just does not make any sense. I'm still going to watch my show. It makes me upset when I don't have the show to watch. And actually, I'm honestly one of those type of people that if you take the show away from me long enough, or if I get too busy and you throw off the routine of me sitting and watching it, I won't come back to it. And you lose me as an audience member. So it's just like, and it's not like, though, people, because when I was younger, I used to think, oh, they're giving them a break. They're giving everybody the break. Because they're not recording today. They don't judge me. I thought, yeah. Anyways, I'm like, but I'm a grown adult, so I know everything's pre-recorded and edited like months in advance, and it's on a releaser, and it's scheduled, a releaser scheduler. So it got time. So it's not even a person putting episodes out. It's all scheduled and pre-done. So, like, why not release an episode during holiday season? Why stop the release schedule because of the holidays? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't even know if it's an unpopular opinion or not. As y'all can see how hyped up I just got about it, that I really feel very, very strongly about it, because I missed only 2 of my shows from Christmas and New Year's week aired. Out of all the shows I watch that come out that have weekly releases, only 2 of them still aired an episode. I was hot. I was so hot. I was like, my whole schedule and week is thrown off because I don't have my shows to watch and relax. But anyways, yeah, that was just a little. That's just how I felt. Yeah. Okay. Now that we are done with catching up and all of that, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the episode. Well, not the nitty-gritty, but let's go ahead and shift gears and get into our shared steps. Shared steps. Shared steps. Shared steps. Shared steps. We're going to shared steps. All right. And for this week's shared steps moment, we are going to highlight the one, the only, Miss Kelly Rowland. Yay! Okay. Kelly Rowland is one of those women who just knows who she is. Okay. What I admire most about her is that she is a star in her own right, and she moves like she knows her power. Not in a loud way and not in a prove anything way, just grounded, secure. She's continued to evolve beyond the group that introduced her to the world, and she's been building her own legacy as an artist, entrepreneur, mentor, and advocate for real talent and real artists, and helping them shape craft and helping them build their craftsmanship. She pours into artists, invests in the work, and stays connected to the heart of creativity, not just the spotlight. She's also a fitness inspiration, an amazing mother, and someone who understands how to exist in a very public life with intention. And let's be real, we all know, everybody know, she is highly media trained. Okay, shout out to Destiny's Child. Um, but and because of that, she only lets us know what she wants us to know. She only confirms what she wants to confirm and all of those things. And honestly, there's a beauty in that in today's society, where oversharing is, yeah, people have no shame anymore. Shame does not exist. But yeah. But a moment that I really wanted to highlight was an interview that she did with Vanity Fair, where she was asked a question along the lines of, has she ever felt like her light dimmed next to Beyonce? And Kelly's response was basically, what do you mean? She said Beyonce is a star. And she also said, I am a star. And she let it be known that one doesn't cancel out the other. And there was no insecurity in her answer, no comparison, just confidence. And that moment hit me way deeper than I expected. We hear the quote, comparison is the thief of joy, all the time, but seeing Kelly live that truth out loud was different. It wasn't coming from a jealous place or a defensive place. It felt like a very much needed reminder. For me, it felt like a needed reminder. This world will make you feel like you're in competition with everyone around you, especially in this microwave society where everything feels rushed and ranked. Okay. But the truth is, I am who I am because God says. No, I am who I say I am because God says I am. And my light isn't borrowed. It my light isn't borrowed and my light isn't threatened. In the same way I can't dim someone else's light, they can't dim mine. We all exist for a specific purpose. And hearing Kelly answer that question in that way, and like her everything about the way she answered that just reminded me that confidence doesn't have to be loud to be unshakable. And just knowing who you are and refusing to shrink or diminish yourself or compare, even when the world is trying to force you, you just stand solid and remember who you are and remember whose you are. Okay. And yeah, we all exist in this world together. So yes, that's why Miss Kelly Rowland is our shared steps moment highlight for this week, because that moment is a reminder of you don't have to shrink yourself. You don't have to dim your light. You don't have to feel like your light is dimmed. And no one can take from you. Um, it all like we can. There's duality in this world, and I think in nuance. And that was just a nice. It was a great reminder for me. So thank you, Miss Kelly Rowland, for continuing to be an inspiration to us all in daring and remaining strong in your confidence. And yeah, so thank you. Okay, that's Miss Kelly Rowland. Miss Kelly Rowland. So let's get to let's walk through it. Our main topic of discussion. Yes, and our theme for this episode is honoring who I'm becoming. Yes, honoring who I'm becoming versus who I've been. Um, so I gotta figure out how to better transition that. But yeah, so our main topic for today is honoring who I'm becoming versus who I've been. Yeah, so like this, because and the reason, one reason why I chose this topic was because I was watching Abbott Elementary actually, and I was finishing up season 4, I believe, and it was when Ava was fired from them taking donations from the golf course people, and then the board finally found out, and yeah, Ava protected her teachers, and she, in the end she got fired and all that stuff. And the quote that stuck with me because it got used twice. Um, First, Ava used it to explain, why she was fine, where she was, at public speaking and being a moderator and all those things. And then it was used again, and Janine used it back on her to get her to come back to the school, because she helped with Ava Fest and all those things with Jill Scott. Ugh, that was an amazing episode, by the way. Anyways, but yes, and the quote was, beginning something often means letting something else end. Beginning something often means letting something else end. And I believe, well, no, not I believe. For me, I know this is true. And because as you grow and as you move on to the next stages in your life, next phases, to be able to walk into your blessing and to be able to move on to what God has for you, or to move into your purpose, or whatever, the next step is for you. Usually, in my experience, something has to be let go. You have to let something go, whether it's a person, whether it's a habit, whether it's a mindset. Like, something has to give in order for you to continue to grow. And that can be scary. Let's be honest. Growth is uncomfortable, and it is an unknown, and knowing that I have to let go of what I know, like, just at least for me, this I'm just speaking about me. For me, it's scary. It's scary. And there was a time in my life, I and what's so crazy, I was in high school when I said it, when I felt that way, and I believed it strongly. And it was my AP Lit teacher, and shout out to Mr. Madison. And he was talking to us about, like, we were just having real life, real world conversation about, being an adult is scary. And the reason why it's so scary is because most adults fear the unknown. And, well, not even just adults, most people fear the unknown. But like, as an adult, because of all the other things you have going on in your life and yada yada yada, he was saying, the unknown is kind of scary for a lot of people. So once people get used to something, they get comfortable in something, they don't want to move on. They don't want to grow. They don't want to let things go. They don't want things to change, because change is unknown, and the unknown is scary, and it's not comfortable, and all of those things. And me, I was, I took AP Lit. I was either junior or senior. I can't even remember. Um, but yeah, I was a senior. I was a senior because I was a senior when I took AP Lit, and I just remember literally looking at him in his face, and I was just like, why would that be scary? And I genuinely meant, like, why would that be scary? He went on it again, and I was just like, but the unknown means you have the power to create whatever. Like, it's unknown, it's unwritten, and you have the power to write the story however you want. Like, the unknown gives you a chance to start anew. So why is that scary? And that man looked at me. At that time, I didn't understand. Like, I genuinely was not understanding what was so profound about what I said. And to have that mindset as a child, I'm still a child and still learning things, but truly as a child, and to say that, and I believed it. I wholeheartedly believed it, and I still believe that, in the sense of, no, yes, the unknown does give you the chance to write the story. It gives you a chance to start anew. It genuinely does. It literally, you can pick up and start. It does. The unknown is it. There's nothing there. It's unknown. So you have the space to create and be. And so I do still believe that. But now with my newfound adult experiences in life, I understand why it is scary. Because it's like, as a child, you're just like, okay, just do it. Why are you making it more complicated than it needs to be? And oh, to have childlike ignorance and bliss, because who, the weight of the world will make you scared of the unknown, because all of that is still true. The unknown is, it's still an opportunity and space to create and all of those things, but it makes us scared. It makes us scared. Well, it made me scared. It did. It made me very scared. And but I did take the time, and I had to pinpoint what about um what about it is, scary for me. And it was like, knowing you're stepping into unknown territory is scary, and you can choose to, either be afraid and not step into it, or, face the fear and go through it anyways. um where am I going with this, God? What am I trying to say? When you're, growing and changing and moving in phases in life, letting go letting go was scary. There we go. Found it. Found it. Letting go was scary. Letting go of what I knew was scary. And not, but because the thing sometimes, and what I am experiencing in life, for me, sorry, hold on. Ooh, couldn't get comfortable. But what I'm experiencing in life is, as much as people, as much as people, you can claim to not know what you need to let go, but you do know. You do know. And it's the fact that knowing what you need to let go of to move on to the next phase, and it's like, you don't want to let it go. And for whatever reason, you don't want to let it go, whether it's because this is a security blanket for you, or um where am I going with this? You can't bring old ways with you to move on. Like I said, like, for example, me in this space, in this era that I'm era in this season that I'm in, um I recognized that in order for me to move to the next stage, next level, next phase of my healing, I no longer could do it in isolation. I no longer could hide myself. I no longer could force myself into hiding. I needed to heal out loud, and I needed to I needed to voice, I needed to speak up, I needed to speak out. And that meant I had to let go of the silence. I had to let go of being worried about, oh, well, if I share this story, how is that going to make other people feel? I had to let go of people fearing people judging me and my experiences in my life. I had to let go of the fear of being vulnerable. I had to let go of the fear of maybe my experiences keep locking me out of things and blocking me out of things, or the things that I might say on this, that I might share. And I had to let go of the fear and the doubt, because I had to let go of my fear. I had to let go of my silence. I could no longer be silent. I could no longer be fearful. And that was that, and that scared me. That scared who I was before this, as I was becoming into this, as I was moving into this, like, and I've known for a while that there's going to come a time in my healing journey, in my path, in my faith, in my journey, as I'm continuing to grow, as I'm continuing to learn and evolve. I knew that I knew it would come a time in my journey where me being silent would no longer be an option. And I let that fear hold me back for a long time. Um, I've let my fear of speaking up hold me back in a lot of situations, and which is and it's kind of weird and kind of funny to think about, because I am outspoken. So it's like, how is she afraid to speak out when she is? But this is a different level of vulnerability, because I am an open book, but I'm also very selective with what I share. And so, like, there's some things that are deep, and I'll share, and I'll share it as if it's nothing. And people are like, whoa, that's great. And I'm just like, oh, that that's not even scratching the surface of how, of vulnerability. Like, that ain't nothing. So to some people, I am outspoken. No. Yes, to some people I am very outspoken, but in reality, I do keep my mouth shut about a lot of things. I do have a lot of opinions. I do. I do have feelings. I do. Um, but there's definitely been times in my life where I've just chosen to remain silent, and not out of and the thing was, it wasn't even the times when I chose to stay silent wasn't necessarily out of fear. It wasn't because I was scared each and every single time. It was more so of sometimes, knowing when to speak and when not to speak. But also, there are some things that I just felt like didn't need my energy, and I didn't see a point in explaining and defending myself in certain situations, that had happened to me. And in the end, but not by me not speaking up, by me not saying things, I got left alone. And yeah. So the cost of my silence was loneliness. So, like, and I've been paying that price. And not only loneliness, but like trust issues because of my silence. Like, I'm not speaking up and not fully expressing myself. So it has come at a cost. And God has made me, like, realize, and He's shown me, and He's been telling me for a while now that, like, you have a voice. Like, literally, I dropped into your heart like, you feel in your heart of hearts to be the voice for the voiceless, and yet here you are not speaking up for yourself. Here you are not defending yourself. How can you expect me to help prepare you to speak up and give voice and give life and, honor and be a vessel in this way, when you won't even honor and be this vessel for yourself? And I was like, woo! I okay, just call me out like that. Just go ahead. And I thought by not saying anything, I thought I was turning the other cheek. I thought I was moving on. I thought by not speaking, it wasn't giving it life. God was like, no, it's not. You're not. No, I never said to not defend yourself. I never said it's like I never said to just let people treat you any kind of way. I never said that. That is not what I said. I let you know that you will go through a lot of things in life. I let you know that even me, when I sent my son, he went through it too. So like I'm just letting you know that nobody's exempt from going through things. But I have equipped you with all you need to defend yourself. You know? And he was like, you have discernment and you know when to walk away, and you know when to say things and when not to. But child, you've been confusing and using your discernment as an excuse in the times when I didn't tell you to not speak. And I said, oh. And he was like, yeah, so this is the cost of your silence. This is the cost of you not speaking. And I said, oh, okay. Okay, God. Okay. So like maybe you should really take the time and reflect and sit with yourself and be like, what the thing that I'm holding on to and not letting go, and what is it costing me? Besides, the next stepping into the next level, next phase, next stage of my life, what is it costing me right now in this moment? And what has it cost me by holding on to it? And I promise it'll give you perspective. it will give you perspective, and you'll be like, oh, so I've been in my own way this whole time. Do I want to remain in my own way? Obviously, my answer was no. I don't want to keep blocking my blessings. I don't want to be the reason why I don't reach my promise. I don't want to be the reason. I don't. So as you can see, I'm here speaking up now. So there's that. Yeah, what version of me am I outgrowing? The scared version of me. Like I'm outgrowing the scared version of myself in turn. And I'm not saying I'm outgrowing caution. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm about to just go balls to the wall, or I'm not saying I'm just about to go buck wild crazy and do any and everything that comes my way, say yes to any and everything. I'm not saying that, because every opportunity ain't a good opportunity. That's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. But I am no longer going to allow fear to control and dictate my life. So that is the version of me I am outgrowing. I am outgrowing the version of me that allowed fear to control and dictate my life. Because honestly, yeah, as I'm stepping into my purpose and who I feel I'm now finally coming into alignment. I'm not fully there, I don't believe, but I definitely the way things have been like lining up in life is kind of crazy. Now that because it started, and that's the crazy thing. It started once I finally, truly deep down in my soul and my spirit, believed and made the decision to no longer let fear control my life. And because the thing was, I was still doing work. Like, as I said in the other episodes, I had been working, I had been trying things and trying, and I kept getting stopped, and trying and kept getting stopped, and trying. So it's not that I haven't been working. I've been working, but I've been fearful and working. Fearful and faithful and working. Still working. I never stopped working, but I was the reason why I kept working when God was like, okay, I've given you a lot. I've prepared you. So now what? When you gonna stop using the excuses, you know, and just do? And so, yeah, that is the thing. I didn't allow my fear to stop me from working. I continued to work and I continued to learn. I just I allowed my fear to stop me moving to the next step. Now that's keep I do I feel that is important to stress. I didn't allow my fear to stop me from working. Okay? What I allowed my fear was to stop me from stepping into the next stage. But I did not allow my fear to stop me from working. I did not allow my fear to stop me from trying. That I did not. Did I make excuses? Yes. Did I, go all the way around and things like that? Yes. I didn't know I was doing it in the moment though. This is me like I'm reflecting over it and being like, yeah, yeah. Not to say the things that I faced and struggles that I faced weren't actual blocks. It's just, instead of the way I viewed them and the way I made it seem, because in the moment, don't get me wrong, in the moment, it felt like mountains. Those obstacles felt like mountains. And they looked like mountains to me. But they looked like mountains to me because I was operating out of a place of fear. So every hindrance, every roadblock, it looked humongous. It looked like everything was telling me no because I was operating out of a place of fear. So yeah, in order to move on to this next stage, next level, next phase of my life, I gotta outgrow. I have to let that go. I have to let the power that fear has on me. I have to let it go and I release it. I release the power of fear. I release it. I release it. Not saying there aren't things that you need to be scared of. You do need to be cautious. I'm not trying to throw out, caution. I'm not saying throw caution to the wind. That is not what I'm saying. But for me, yes, I had faith. I still have faith. My faith was very much so the size of a mustard seed. Okay? God gave me the strength because God saw my faith in the mustard. He saw that mustard seed. But my fear and doubt clouded me from seeing him. And that's the truth. That's the truth. My fear and doubt clouded me from seeing God. So God was there with me. God was still with me. And that's why I was able to still work and why I continued to work and why I was still being prepared and why my footsteps, even though to me it didn't make sense, it wasn't looking right. Nothing looked like it was going the way it was supposed to go. Nothing made sense to me. And I felt like I was failing. Okay? That was my fear and my doubt clouding me from seeing what God was actually doing. But God saw through my fear and my doubt and saw that faith the size of a mustard seed. Because he saw me still working. He saw me still trying. He saw me still holding on. So I might not have been able to see him, but he saw me. And he was there with me through it all. And I still believed it. Even though if I couldn't see it, I did. I still had it deep down in me. I still had it in me. I still have it in me. But yeah, I have to outgrow that. I had to let it go. That is what had to end. I had to make the decision to no longer allow fear to control my life. I had to make the decision to no longer allow fear to be the reason why I remain silent. Judgment, I could not, I had to let it go. I have let it go. It's not gonna be easy. I am still learning, honest moment right now. I have re-recorded this topic, me talking to y'all about this topic like 4 or 5 times because it is scary. This is still scary. Like, I'm not doing this in the absence of fear, okay? I am overcoming it and doing it in spite of. And because I no longer want it to have power over me. So yeah, that's that, and that's just what I am doing, and that's what I'm learning, and this is how I am honoring who I'm becoming versus who I've been, by acknowledging and actually taking the time to reflect over, my life and things that have happened, and actually sit with my feelings and sit in my emotions and sit with God and sit in prayer and meditation to finally be able to see, like, oh, I was in my own way this whole time. I was in my own way. And yeah, but it took a lot for me to even get to the point to say that in this video, in this episode, in this podcast, whether you're listening or you're watching on YouTube. It took a lot for me to even get to this point to even say this. Like, it took a lot. It took a lot. It took a lot. So I'm not telling you to do something that I'm not actively doing. I'm not speaking on something that I'm not actively working through and growing through. I am. Like, you are watching me in real time, real life, on my path, on my journey, going at this pace, at whatever pace God is letting me, and seeing where God letting me, that I'm allowing, in all of the things as I'm learning. You're gonna see the ebb and flow. That's like, but this is real deal. This is me. This is me learning and growing with y'all. Okay, I'm not asking y'all to do something that I'm not actively doing myself. I'm also not requiring you guys to do it. This is just, I'm just here as a vessel, to be the messenger and to be the voice, to speak up and speak out for those who feel the way I feel, and let you know you're not alone. There's other of us out here. But yeah. So it's hard, but I have to let it go in order for me to move on to the next stage of my life. I have to. That's what I am outgrowing, and that's what I'm learning to release. And yeah, some days are harder than others. A lot. I'm more aware of what is scaring me than I was before. But I'm not letting it stop me anymore, and I'm asking for strength and guidance. And yeah, so we're gonna learn it along the way. But that's the best way, as of now, that I can honor who I am becoming versus who I've been, by just truly sitting and reflecting and taking accountability for where I've gone wrong in my life, and the things that I have done to hinder myself. So yeah, I had to look in the mirror. So maybe that's what you need to do to move to the next stage, next phase. Take a look in the mirror. So yeah. Whew, man. That was a little deep. 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 Oh my gosh. Okay. But yeah, that's that. Woo. Letters along the way. Letters along the way. Letters along the way. All right, we have reached letters along the way. So if you would like to share your stories and experiences, or you would like me to read and offer you some advice, you can write those letters in and email them at lettersalongtheway@gmail.com. That is lettersalongtheway@gmail.com. Lettersalongtheway@gmail.com. This is your time to share your story. Have your voice heard. All right. Up next, her playlist. Her playlist. Okay. Oh, okay. So yes, once again, we have two very different songs. They are very different. Two completely different songs. The first song is by, sorry, excuse me. There it is. Ooh. Ooh. All right, cool. Oh wait, actually, rewind. Go back to letters along the way. I also wanted to say, I meant to say this during the shared steps portion, but for February, I want to have one episode where I just read moments, and I want to highlight, particularly Black women, African American women, in in your lives, in the world, that have been an inspiration and motivation to you and to others. So I want to take the time to highlight them in February. So I will have one episode where it's just me reading their stories and taking the moment to give them their flowers. So if you have someone of inspiration, a Black woman of inspiration for Black History Month, um, and you would like to share her story and have her highlighted during shared steps, you can email those. You can email. I said that weird. You can email that information and those stories to herpathherpace@gmail.com. That is herpathherpace@gmail.com. Once again, if you would like to have Black women, if you would like a certain Black woman's story highlighted and shared on that episode in February, go ahead and email those letters and stories to herpathherpace@gmail.com. Okay. All right. Back to her playlist. And the first song, once again, these songs are very opposite of each other. Yeah, unrelated. Don't have nothing to do with nothing. With each other. They don't have nothing to do with each other. So the first song is by Skylin, I believe, and it's just, it's like that's the title of the song. And I came across this song actually while I was getting posts and things together for Instagram for the podcast and stuff. And I listened to that song, and I don't know what about it. It just immediately like relaxed me, and it sent me into like this reflective, mode, and it just settled my mind. And she says nothing other than She's humming the whole song. I believe it's a she. But yeah, throughout the entire song, she's just humming, and it does build. Now it's not a boring song. She's not humming the same line over and over. It builds, but it's like it takes you on this journey, and I don't know. I just felt so calm and centered while listening to it, and I really liked it. And I listened to it like on repeat all week, and I fell asleep to it a few nights actually, because yeah, my brain was kind of all over the place, and it settled my mind. So yeah, I don't know. So maybe if you're into meditation, reflective music, but you don't like the typical reflection music, then I would suggest listening to this or adding this into your reflective playlist and whatnot. Now, the second song is Christian rap, Christian hip hop, and it is by the artist Aaron Cole. At least I believe it's Christian rap. It could just be plain hip hop and rap. Yeah. But it's by Aaron Cole, and it's called My Year. And the reason why I was like, it could be Christian rap, hip hop, or not, and just plain hip hop rap, because he talks about God in it and blessings, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a Christian song. That could not be the genre. Anyways, that's the point. And I just thought that, it's very fitting. Excuse me. it's very fitting for the new year, as you know, we're stepping and we're becoming, and it's saying this my year, this my year, you know, and it's motivational, and it's just the attitude of, you know, turning stagnation into action, you know, no longer being stagnant and taking power and stepping into your power and claiming it, claiming your blessings, claiming what God has promised you, claiming that I'm no longer holding myself back. I'm doing it. Like I'm doing it. This my year. And people say that all the time, every new year, new me, this the year, this my season, this is my year, I'm gonna do it. But no, like I genuinely felt like even if it's not my year, even if it doesn't happen in 2026, I do believe this is my season. This is my time. And there is no time limit on when that's going to happen. But I do feel strongly now. I feel it way, because the thing is, I felt it. It's 2026. I felt it in 22. And I had a major shift in 22. It just didn't shift the way I thought it was going to shift. It didn't shift the way I thought it was going to shift. But I was silent then. I know that what the cost of my silence is. I'm not gonna be silent no more. So as I'm stepping into this new season and everything in these lessons, and I'm making claim, and this my year, this my season, this my time. So move out the way, okay? And that's how that song made me feel. Cause God gonna bless me. He been blessing me. He gonna keep blessing me. Blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. Cause it's my year, my year, my year, my year. It's my season, my season, my season, my season, my time, my time, my time, my time. Fine. Yeah. Okay. That's how that song makes me feel. So yeah. Um. So yeah, those are our songs for this week on Her Playlist. Skyland. Mm-hmm. It's just very relaxing, reflective, and for me, it was very centering. It helped center my mind. And then Aaron Cole, My Year, motivational, upbeat hip hop, making claiming the blessings of now, claiming it's your time, and stepping into it. That's key. You got to step into it. It's turning stagnation into action. That's also key. That's the key, to claim it, for it to be your year, for it to be your season, for you to receive your blessings. You got to claim it, and you got to work, and you got to do. Remember, beginning something often means letting something else in. Okay? All right. We're gonna move right along. Move right along. Now we are at Glow Up Goals. I like that. Glow Up Goals. So I'm gonna do check-in. What were our glow up goals from last week? Oh, last week our glow up goals was intentional checking in. How did that go for everybody? I did it. I didn't do it every day. I'm not gonna lie. I can't, no yai. I can't yai. No yai. No yai. I didn't do it every day. But I did do it this week, and it was just like, because now I will say, because I did it, it made me be aware of my luteal phase and all that stuff, and just what was going on with my body. So it was helpful in that way for me. I don't know. Share how it was helpful for you, checking in and being intentional. But I did find myself a lot of times this week being incongruent and not in alignment with where I was at, with how I was feeling. That was a very common thing this week. But like I said, it made me take the time to go and look and see what was going on with my body and what I needed to feed it and all of those things. And so, it got better. Like by Friday, by the end of the week, I felt fine. But yeah, it was a rough little week. Oh, I gotta show you guys the gifts I got for myself. And I did say gifts with an S. So, okay. So my gifts that I got myself this week, I got myself her. I got me some vinyls, guys. That's what I got. I got me I got me some vinyls, okay? That was the gift I got myself this week with some vinyls. And it made me so happy once they got here. And it just felt good. That's also why I paid for my hair to get done because I typically do my own hair and all of that. But I was just like, no, we're gifting ourselves. We're treating ourselves this week. So that was those are my treats to myself. I got me some vinyls and I've definitely been rotating them all week. My favorite one is the Solange one right now, but that's just because it's so artsy and Solange is she's a genius. Like Solange, she's a genius. But sorry, I know it's itching. But yeah, so that one has been getting played the most. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. And how has our monthly commitment been going? You know, how you guys doing with that? Let me know down below in the comments how you guys are doing. How was your intentional check-in for this week? Were you finding yourself more congruent or more incongruent this week? And maybe think about why that was. And yeah, if you actually bought yourself something this week, if you actually took the time to gift yourself something this week, take a picture, share it, and do hashtag glow up goals, hashtag her path her pace, and tag us at her path her pace because I want to share, I want to enjoy what you guys have. I want to share in this community and build the space and all of those things. So yeah, well, there's that. Now for this week, our it's going to be a little different for um our daily goal or our daily commitment. I actually wanted to give you guys a daily affirmation to say this week, whether it's in the morning or at night, but whenever you have the time and you're in the mirror, I want you to say to yourself, I am enough. I am enough. That is what I want your daily affirmation to be this week. Maybe this daily affirmation will help you quiet that voice in your head, quiet the fear, quiet the doubt by simply cutting through and saying, I am enough. So that is our daily affirmation for this week. And now, our weekly commitment for this week. One day this week, doesn't matter. It could take you all week. You can write about this all week, every day. You can sit down and write about this just one moment, 15, 20 minutes, sitting down, focus, writing. Even if you can only write about it for 5 minutes. You need to sit down and write. If you are joining in on this commitment for this week, it is going to be a journal prompt. And our prompt for this week is to reflect on a version of you're currently outgrowing. So I do want you to actually, I am asking you to come into the space with me and take the time to sit with your feelings, as scary as that sounds and as scary as it is going to possibly be, and actually truly reflect on a version of you that you're currently outgrowing. Truly reflect on what is that thing that I need to let go, because I promise you, you know what it is. You know in your heart of heart, soul of soul, you know exactly what it is you need to let go to move on. You just got to listen to yourself. So if 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 you are there, it's okay if you are not there and you're not ready to take that step. That's fine. It, like I said, it took me a long time. It took me a long, 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 long time. Okay, this is years in the making. So that is okay. That is okay if that is too much of an ask. But will you at least journal and reflect on something this week? Whatever, 10 minutes. So, but if you are there and you are ready to take that step, take the time to sit, reflect, and journal about what version of you are you currently outgrowing. Okay? So, and we're going to continue our commitment of, I know I said commitment of the month. I do mean just for the rest of the month because, yeah, we started here in January. So we're going to finish out with this commitment. It's in alignment with our daring to begin, our month theme of daring to begin is starting something and just committing to it for the rest of this month. If this is your very first episode with me, that's fine. That is okay. You can just join us where you are at and you can just finish out the month with us. Okay. So whatever it is you want it to start, and it doesn't have to be a major thing. So like for me, I'm doing morning devotion and meditation. I'm being very intent because I want intentional time with God. So I have taken 15, 20 minutes out of my morning every morning to sit and have my morning devotion and meditation. That is my intentional practice with God to better my relationship and better help me along my path and journey. So yes, that is my intention. I mean, yeah, that's my month commitment. I, I'm going to continue it. It's just that's the thing that I was hesitant and not starting. So I started, and now here we are. So if you would like to join me in doing the same thing, that is also very, you can share what you are learning about yourself and all of those things with me, and you can just DM me either on Her Path Her Pace at either on the Her Path Her Pace socials, or you can find my personal page. No, yes, you can email me. You can email me at herpathherpace@gmail.com, or you can, DM me, and if you would like to share anything or just have a conversation. Yeah. So yes, that's how that's going. So yeah, glow up goals. Remember, if you would like to share in this community how your glow up goals are going, how's the daily commitment, how's your weekly commitment coming along, and how's your monthly practice, how it's all coming together, and is it helping, and is it hurting? Is it a lot harder than you expected it to be? Is it a lot easier than you expected it to be? What is it asking of you? What has it pulled out of you? Things of those natures. So yeah. And if you guys want, maybe we can have a group chat just for glow up goals, just to talk about our glow up goals there. But potentially, possibly in the future. But yeah. Now that we have our glow up goals, we are reaching the end of the episode, and we have come along to Grace Notes. Okay, we have reached Grace Notes, and the the quote I want to leave with you today is: "Do the best you can until you know better. When you know better, do better." Maya Angelou. So take the time and reflect on that. Think about that as you are honoring who you are becoming, um, and versus who you have been, respecting your experiences and things that you have learned, your growth and your pain, and all of the things that have aligned and made you who you are. But as Maya Angelou said, do the best you can until you know better. When you know better, do better. Right? So keep that with you as you carry on this week. Um, Remember our commitment for our glow up goals this week and this month with our overarching theme of daring to begin. Yes. So yes, we reached the end of the episode. Um, yeah, I'm so happy that you guys have stuck with me and rode out this journey with me. I really do appreciate that. I am very grateful and also thankful for all of you joining me on this journey and participating in this journey and daring to begin with me. So, yeah, I just want you to remember to pause, breathe, take a beat, honor your path. Uh, Wait, yeah, no. And yeah. And if you want to contact, follow us, reach us, show your support. You can follow us on all social media platforms at Her Path, Her Pace. And you can follow me, your host, Rashay, as well. All of the socials and links will be down in the description below. So please go and follow us on socials, repost, share, comment, like, subscribe, all of the things, all of the things. Yeah. But yes, but until next time, remember to pause, breathe, take a beat, honor your path, and honor your pace. Always remember to give yourself grace. Till next time, guys.